This video is going to cover the connection of the cables for a 4-pane telescopic door set. This step is going to cover connecting the cable to the first door. So you can hang your first door onto the hanger bolts, adjust it up, make sure it's perfectly level with the top of the fixed panel, and lock off the nuts. You're now ready to connect the cable. So first of all, we're going to loosen off these screws and release the clamp plate. Take the cable that came in your kit, tuck it in behind the clamp plate. Do the screws up nice and tight, but try to avoid using power tools at this stage, as you can cut the cable if you do it too tight. Now take the end of your cable and hook it around the pulley at the rear of the door. Come to the front of the door and do the same thing. Now you have a loop going around the door. Loosen off the other clamp plate. Now make sure you give yourself plenty of room here. You're going to tuck your cable behind the clamp plate. And you're going to pull it tight. Now, it's easy if there's two of you, because one can pull the cable tight while the other one does the screws up. Again, avoid power tools. Once that's done nice and tight, check your door's still free moving, and then you can snip off the excess cable. That is your first cable connected. This step covers hanging your second door. So hang your second door on the hanger bolts, adjust them up so that the door is perfectly flush with the previous door, and then lock it off in position. I'm going to connect the cable that came in your kit, and we're going to tuck it into this clamp plate. I'm going to loosen the screws off slightly. Tuck it in there and lock it off. Take the end of the cable and run it around the rear pulley of this door. Making note the cable goes behind the back of that clamp. Go to the front of the door and repeat the process. Now we're going to clamp the other end of it into the bracket on the previous door. We're going to this one tight. Now pull that cable tight and lock it off. Again, it's easier if there's two of you because one person can pull the cable tight while the other one does up the screws. Now, once you're happy your cable's tight enough, you can trim off the excess. Now, your door's going to be moving independently still. So slide all the doors back to the fully open position, ensuring that they are all flush at the front. We can now go to this rear clamp. So move the door forward. Loosen off the top two screws and remove the screw from the bottom. Now you can use the cable to slide underneath the clamp plate on the bracket. And then we're going to replace the bottom screw. And we're going to leave it loose at the moment. We're going to slide the door back to the fully open position, ensuring that all of the doors are flush at the front, and then tighten up this clamp. Now when you move this door, the other door will follow in synchronization. This step covers hanging your lead door. So hang your door, adjust the bolts up and down on the hangers until it's perfectly level with the previous door. Now at the back of the door you've got a clamp with 3 screws in it. We're going to remove the bottom screw and loosen the top 2. Take the cable from the previous door, pop it underneath the bracket. Replace the bottom screw, leaving it loose. Make sure all your doors are slid back to the fully open position, keeping them all flush at the front here. And then snag up this bracket. You now have all of the doors moving together.